Alright. Let's see, how is that, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Is it less glitchy? Better. Wonderful. Yeah, so basically, lovely. Yeah, so Stream Elements had an update that we did. And so Emily and I were tooling around with it, and it still was in 1080p. And like, this is a 4-year-old laptop that I'm streaming on, so it's so 1080p is a little bit much for this little girl. So hello, Ren. Hello. Oh, it's so good to hear and virtually see from y'all. So I figure to start off the video, we gotta talk about some stuff. So so I was gone. I was in Wisconsin last weekend for a friend's batch party, for a bachelor party. It was a combined thing, super fun. I got a little drunk, and it was the time. Yeah. So while I was there, though, I may have been catching some updates from a place in Brazil, where I heard a deck with no monsters won the entire fucking YCS. So yeah. So let's talk about this. What the heck happened with that? Let me adjust this a little bit. I forgot to adjust my Chrome windows here. It had lava golem in the side. Oh, thank you so much for reminding me. That had fucking lava golem in the side. So many monsters. God, what a ridiculous deck and decklist and proposition. Like, so this man, like, I think he just Dual Daddy, oh my gosh, thank you so much for the follow. Y'all, Dual Daddy is amazing. Check out his Twitter. He just posted a bunch of the stuff from Megatons, which thank you so much for that. I was wondering all the cards from it. I appreciate you massively, my friend. Let me fix this just a little bit more so I have it inside of this here. Let's see. Do a little bit more here. Make this a little bit bigger. Let's see, let's do this. Common charity updates would go way slower if not for Dual Daddy. Bless. Alright, let's take a look here. So first off, let's look at that winning list here. Will be true for common charity bills. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, so we could actually take a look at Megaton stuff as well, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in there. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen this by now, but this is Joao Paulo Lima's first place YCS Rio list. So running 1 card of Demise, because of course it's limited to 1. 3 Cauldron of the Old Man, which I believe, Diamond Dude, you just got some of these in the mail, because you're probably just going to be running some Mystic Mine Abomination next time I hear. I know you're on Altergeist, and it caused a your Mystic Mine Altergeist caused a rift in our friendship. Oh my god. So 3 Dark Ruler, of course. 3 Demise of the Land, because when the land is in demise. 3 of the best card in your deck. A 1 Day of Peace. 3 Duality, 3 Extravagance, 1 Upstart, because we gotta see the mine. 3 Dark Bribe, because we gotta protect the mine at all costs. Yeah. 3 Gozen, because yeah, Gozen can be kind of cracked against a lot of decks. Metaverse, because we're gonna see mine more. We have 5 Ojama cards in this fucking deck, y'all. We have 5 Ojama cards. There are archi- if we're talking archetype, yeah, no terraforming, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Wait, did he side? I think he sided terraforming, right? This motherfucker. He sided terraforming. What a Chad. Oh my god. So, when you think about it, clearly not enough Ojama cards, Yeah, so, yeah, JD is all, yeah, I don't know. You gotta keep the opponent's field full. When you think about it, though, there is only one actual archetype represented in this deck, and it's Ojama. But no Oja match Sorcerer-esque. Oh my god, yeah. Like, no Oja match. None of it. Play Altergeist, the matchup is free. No. No. I will not be doing so because I like to have fun. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is more an Ojama deck than anything else. Anyway, 3 Rivalry. Rivalry's cracked. 6 pot cards here. Are we counting pots as an archetype? Fucking weed heads. And Judgment because protect the mind at all costs. What makes me so upset about this list? What makes me so upset about this list is the extra deck. 3 of the worst DD extra deck cards. This deck costs, it costs like $40. It's nothing. Nebula Neos, Koala, 3 of Gustav Max, and 3 of Arcana Extra Joker. That's fitting because I'm gonna turn into the fucking Joker looking at this. Don't give the hearts to Altergeist. Not fair. Not okay. Oh, and we found our monsters. The 3 Lava Golem. Yes, I feel you. I feel you with the gay screaming Sun Avalon. Gotcha. He truly did become the Joker in that tournament. Did you see this guy's picture after he won? Let me see if I can find it. Man, this man is sad. Like, this man, he looks, somebody made the comment like, oh, he looks like the kind of dude who just played 14 rounds of Mystic Mine. And yeah, he looks like he just aged like 15 years. YC stands for Yu-Gi-Oh! Crying Society. Yeah, let's see. Joao, these are probably like businessmen or whatever. Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see. Do we have the picture of Joao? There he is. Now you tell me, this ain't the look of a man who just did 14 rounds of Mystic Mine. The look of a man who stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back, and he said, "Good, I like it this way." It was not the elderly man. That guy was incredibly based though. Holy Moses. That guy was sick. He was like, come on, go. You have a U-Link board? Go. That's fine. Yeah, Ren, I feel ya. I wish it was him, but you know what? Wasn't. Anyway, so yeah, none of the extra deck, you can't use any of this. I committed guerrilla warfare and all I want was this lousy messenger pack. There should really be a shirt of that. He should have strapped a GoPro on his opponent's head and did a time lapse of him just sitting there. Absolutely. So he had a copy of Die-Fi because why not? He had a copy of Harpies because why not? He had a copy of Terraforming because apparently we side that. Because just one mind too many. Curse Seal, the Forbidden Spell. That was, you know, props to him on this. That was a hot tech. That was hot. TC Boo because we just couldn't, because we just wanted to, you know, commit more war crimes or whatever. And 3 Unending Nightmare, which is, what is Unending Nightmare really for? Is this for other floodgates? Is this for like anti-spell or something like that? Yeah, Shay, why didn't his opponent just draw the out? I don't know. Honestly, say it with me, y'all. Skill issue. Skill issue. Yeah, we got all these people. Draco back exactly. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Yeah, we got all these people. We got Jesse Cotton. We got Asalo. We got Honey. We got Pack. We got all these people were down in Rio and nothing to the mind. So anyway, I feel the toxicity in my veins. So let's move on, because there were actually some really cool other decks from Rio. Um, of course, I had to take a look at this one because top 32, Marincess baby, and this one was mostly standard, mostly. There are a couple things that I found quite interesting about this. So we're on 41. Let's see. Like how this deck is cheaper than one copy Sprite Blue. RIP. Yeah, it's like half the cost of Sprite Blue. It's like, what, like 35% of a Primeval Planet Pearl Reno right now? Nutty. So you got the 3 Nib, which is, I really don't know about maining Nib. There are too many times where this card is just kind of dead. I don't know. Yeah, Sprite was gonna be tier 0, but there just doesn't always happen like that. The irony of Jesse's people should be prepared for mine tweet double soon realized that Cotton was playing in the event that mine when it wasn't playing. Yeah, Jesse lost in top 4, I think. Props to him for getting that far, but yeah, it was pretty funny. So we got 3 Blue Tang, 2 Pascalis. Yeah, this is standard. 3 Spring Girl, 1 Sleepy Maiden. If you don't play Sleepy Maiden, I will cry or fight you. Got a player. Tribute Summon Nib isn't good in Marincess. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it's, it's just, that ain't my journey. That's not the road I'm taking. But, if you want to tribute summon Nib, be my guest. The 3 Ash. I don't really like Ash right now in this format. Because it's so often that when Ash is actually on, when Ash, if you're using it, if you're using it against the Sprite board, you're usually wanting to hit Gigantic, right? But a lot of times they have Red up before that. So it's just not that useful in a lot of cases. Whereas Imperm, they usually don't have Carrot up. So Imperm is just infinitely better, I think, into a lot of Sprite boards, at least in my experience. Gamma's good against Sprite, but I really don't like Gamma in Marincess, specifically because you can't resolve either of Coral Triangle's effects the turn that you use Gamma. So even if you use Coral Triangle's effect from the graveyard, you can't resolve Gamma and Coral Triangle in the same turn. And then if you're going first, and they Gamma you, or they hit you with something, do you just not want to grab Wave? I don't know. Going second, yes, but I'd say in this deck, I'd say you side Gamma going second. People, Sprite is going to be tier 0. Reality. Since Sprite's release, Rika and Mindburn have won the 2 fixed events so far. True. I've been running Ashen Vans, but there's literally nothing to hit. Yeah, it still hits every deck. It still gets negation and stuff, but it's just not that impactful, I think. Hand traps just aren't great right now. The fact that tiers care sometimes but not all the time make hand traps super awkward. Yeah, completely agree, Ren. Especially considering they always care about DRNM and friends, yeah. 3 Crow. I like Crow in this format quite a bit. 3 Veiler. I'm kind of a Veiler hater. There's so often that Tier is doing stuff on your turn, Sprite's doing stuff on your turn. I just don't really like Veiler in this meta. I don't play it in any of my decks really. They're just even in decks that run 15 hand traps, I don't really put in Veiler. Tier having all their monsters flow if they hit the graveyard makes so much interruption feel meaningless. Completely agreed. Also, hello, and Seraphel. Nice to have you in the chat. We got the 3 mining, 2 dive, 1 battle ocean, 1 wave. This is standard now. 3 Imperm, good. Maining goes in match. Main goes in match. Main, if you're running a deck like this that's weak to Super Poly and such, main Floodgates, especially if your deck can main deck Rivalry of Warlords, do that. I main deck Rivalry in Melfi, and I main deck it in basically any deck that can because even if they super poly your board, you're like, please summon a winged beast. Please summon a plant. Like, please summon a worm if you're running Sword Soul. But there's a Sword Soul list that I've been messing with, but I don't know about that one. The extra, we got this standard. Dweller is probably the move. I go back and forth between Dweller and Kraken. Because Kraken's better going second, and Kraken's better in simplified game states. Dweller is just so good against tier. Oh my god. so good. Can you summon a plant? Yes, I can. Okay, yeah, well, the one person who's playing Predaplant. Right. Let's see. I love this because when the format gets to a point where hand traps are bad, it's time for Mortronic Telephone to say hi. Hello. Exactly. See, shout out to Labyrinth, always drawing my Dogmatica punishment versus tier and always setting IDP versus Sprite. Yep. Can you summon a plant? Let's see. Dweller just eats tier. Christ. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. No, it's pretty ridiculous. The side deck, so it's pretty standard except for the 3 Cynet Crosswipe. So if you haven't read this card, tribute to Cybus monster, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Good against tier. It's even not bad going first. You can just set this and then tribute like what your Aqua Argonaut summons or something. Like you can summon your Coral Anemone and then tribute it and then get the add back from grave with it. So it's pretty good. Overall, I think this is really solid. I do have some problems with the Nib and the Veiler and the Gammas, but the Marincess monsters are pretty standard by this point. Yeah, this deck just got a huge boost with Link into the Vrains coming out in the Megatins. I am absolutely stoked. One might say, as Ryan Gosling's character said in The Big Short, Jack to the tits about it, honestly. Like, it rules. It's very good for this deck, and I could probably show some stuff with that, why that card matters so much for Link decks. This deck is another Sprite list. I don't have much to say about it. It's for the most part pretty standard. The most notable thing about it that I put down is just the fact that it is playing this little number, Melfi Playhouse. So I'm very familiar with this card, as people probably aren't surprised. But for those who are not, let me see. Let me see if this is visible here. So detach materials from Beast XC's monsters you control. Then you can bounce that many cards that your opponent controls. So you can just, any 2 level 2s makes Melfi the Forest, and then you can just get this trap. Helps you play around Dark Ruler. I like it quite a bit. This deck is also playing 3 Elf. I like that a lot. Comes up in the grind. And the Mannequin Cat is hilarious. This card can really do some wild stuff. I've played with it a bit in Melfi. So once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, then target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field by a controls monster, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, special summon a monster with the same type or attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So I was listening to GooCast, shout out to Pac and Neshi, and Hani, who was on that. He used this on a Mathmech player, like going second. He summoned Circular from their graveyard or something like that. And then he summoned Scythe from the deck with Mannequin Cat, which, because he's playing Sprite Twin, which is hilarious. Tin looks so good. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in the tin. So yeah, pretty Spriteless. Triff got top 8. Triff, this deck is kind of fucking bonkers, man. But you know what? It's good. It's a good deck. Let me pull this up. Let me see if this is going. It does not seem to be Yeah, it's like there there's some ratios and stuff, but overall, like, you know, he's this weird ass hype beast and stuff like that. Generally a pretty good, nice guy, but like, man can deck build. That's one thing I he has some really interesting ideas for decks. Um, his Ignite list post Darkwing Blast is one of the most ridiculous creations I've ever seen, and it is a miracle that deck is so consistent. But you know, Ignites get you there. So here, this is what I'm calling DATS, Danger Adventurer Tier Limit Sprite. So we got 3 of Water Enchantress, 3 Sharon, 3 Havness, 1 Merely, because Merely doesn't special summon itself. Let's see. And then, so it's got 1 Fairy Tale Snow, 100% the lifesaver. 1 blue, 1 jet, 1 red. So what this build is basically just trying to do is to, like, it's just relying on the, like, just getting out the sprite starter and stuff. It's very minimal sprite package. Still running the frogs. Running the illegal knight, which is strange, but it can really help you going second. Griffin Rider, of course. Jackalope, makes sense because it's got some dangers in here. Tsuchinoko. So this deck is playing Curious, and so it's good for Curious, but it doesn't really have an advantageous level. You know, it's always going to hit your field basically if it doesn't get negated by anything other than Ash. But I don't know about Tsuchinoko. 3 Nessie, of course. It's an Aqua. It gets your other tiers in your hand. Absolutely 3 of. Bigfoot is good, especially if you're trying to like get rid of something. You have a legal knight citizenship. See, best to go for adventure stuff first, then use the faithful, discard a tier for your fusions, then end on sprites. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. 2 field spell. You'll notice that that Triff isn't playing the Rhino Heart. This deck really isn't focusing on its normal summon much at all. 2 rights. That's probably the move. I think playing 3 Water Enchantress and 2 right is a good move because you can special summon Swat Frog by sending Water Enchantress from your hand, which is just a ridiculous interaction. The Souls, I think, is a good move because you're going to have some extra spells and traps on board at times. 1 Instant Fusion, of course, it's full combo for tier, basically. Foolish, of course, 3 Dark Ruler. You want to mill the Enchantress from tiers, not the rights. Right, that makes sense as well, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because if you're milling a right, it don't do anything. So we got the 1 Kikalos, the 1 Garura MVP. This card is incredible. I mean, Garura does so much. I mean, it's free. It is absolutely free. Any of your tiers can make it. It's a super poly target. It's great. Mud Dragon of the Swamp. So you know, super poly target, but you can also make this with, say, you could do this with like a legal knight and Merely. Like there's a lot of different ways you can make this, and it's a level 4, which of course is going to be extremely important for your Dweller. Samantha Allen, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. You got the 1 Gigantic, of course, 1 Toad, absolutely. Dweller, because Dweller is the MVP of this format. IP Masquerena, Bomber Dragon. So this was a really interesting card in the build. Triff was really focusing on summoning this card and kind of looping on his opponent's turn to really just like shut them down and destroy a bunch of monsters, just continuously triggering Bomber Dragon with, you know, Havness, the effect of Masquerena, whether, you know, if you're doing like the frog stuff, if you're getting out elf, there's a lot you can do with Bomber Dragon. Let's see. So we got 2 elf. Access code, Celine. You're not going to see a Trift deck without Celine. It just ain't going to happen. Dark, Area, Reborn, a Toad. Don't mind if I do. And Curious, because Curious is also becoming the MVP of this format. I am actually working on a Sprite build that is using Curious. I'm kind of going back to the old Dark Beckoning Beast combo to get out Curious. Because I'm like, if I just focus on the Dark Beckoning Beast line as my normal summons, then I can like kind of combo into Curious more, and that might be what I'm bringing to Niagara. I'm still working on it, honestly. It's, oh my god. Hey, Dios mío, I don't know. Let's see. Garura plus Mud Dragon makes Super Poly such an obnoxious card, especially when playing back row. At least you can counter trap DRNM. Super Poly is just free advantage. Need a ban list for next week. I'd really like to have a ban list tomorrow. Or just, at least just tell me. At least just tell me if there's going to be a ban list or not. Because, like, I'm hopping on a plane, going out to Toronto on Wednesday. Gonna hang with my girlfriend and a friend, and we're going to we're gonna go to Niagara Falls and such. I don't want to be worrying about what cards I'm gonna have in my deck and such like that. I want to bring them all with me to when I go up north, and I don't want to worry about a ban list. 3 Lava Golem, 2 Sphere Mode, Nightmare Griffin, so you can bring back like Red Reboot or a Pointer. 3 Cosmic Harpies. Yep. A Pointer is really good in this format as well. Yes, Dual Daddy, I would love that. Spanish Nets jump scare. True. 14 cards side deck. Okay, so I'm almost so according to, I think it was according to Hani or Pack or something, Triff had I think it was one of them said this. He had a 15 card side deck, but somebody, he was at a restaurant when he was giving this, or at a bar when he was giving this deck profile, and he needed to stop the video. If you notice, the video cuts out early because, according to whoever said this, he had to go into the bar to talk to somebody to defend his honor, which is like the most Triff thing to do. I think it's hilarious. Kills me. Amazing. I don't plan on playing any regionals until October, and hope like make the YCS in October. So I'm mostly just playing around twiddling my thumbs. I feel I'm on the thumb twiddling train as well sometimes. Oh, I can't wait for Darkwing Blast 2. Oh, that set is gonna be killer. So there's a Mathmech at Ignister deck. I won't take too long on this because I've taken long on like every deck. So let me get this rolling here. Boom, boom. So I really like this deck. So it's 44 cards, it's a bit heavy, but this deck is, my god, this deck is, I was messing around with this deck because, as some of you know, I've played at Ignister quite a bit. I love the deck. This deck is 44 cards. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hand traps. And it is, yeah, I think it's 3 Sphere Mode in his side deck. The Triff special, 3 Lava Golem, 3 Sphere Mode. It's like every deck of his. But hey, if it works, it works. So I was testing this out. So you're running 3 Achichi, 3 Picari, 3 Circular, Silent Mining, and Small World. This deck has a 96% chance to have a 1-card starter in your hand, going first, so with 5 cards in hand, that will get you to at least a 4K arrival. 96. and that's just on one card combos. So there are certainly other like 2 card combos that can get you there too. Um, like for example, like Bururu plus Circular can do some things to get you there, and like this, there's still other extenders. Like this deck is wildly consistent, and it's good. I'm not surprised that Mathmech got second and that this deck got, what was it? Top 8. So shout out to Ikaro Kawe. Ooh, not the best with Brazilian names. Double scares me and has me hyped at the same time. On one hand, Lady of the Labyrinth eventually drops in price, and fish support, but also Sprite Srend and Ludokaros. Yeah, Ludokaros is a very good card, and Sprite Srend is ridiculous. Have y'all seen the number of Cyberstun combos you can do with that? Hilarious, amazing. Then dude, Lady of the Labyrinth feels strong enough to play in any trap deck that doesn't lock you. Absolutely, Lady is like one of the best trap support cards I've ever seen. Labyrinth with Lady in it is amazing. Remember the whole deck. I love Labyrinth playstyle. Before Ultra 3 played as playset hurts the wallet. Absolutely. It should absolutely be more accessible. I have all the Labyrinth cards with me here, and I want that to be more accessible because, my God, that deck is so ridiculously fun. It is an absolute blast to play, and I highly recommend anybody giving it a shot. Satrala Punk, ridiculous deck, really good. You open Satrala Unicorn plus Xiamen or Teleport. That's a good ass combo. That deck was really good. Anyway, let's see, what other lists do I have here? Oh, this Dynamorphia list. This was really cool. During less, yeah. Let's see. I think people should experiment a bit with trap deck, playing 3 Lord of the Heavenly Prison, 3 Ladies as win con. Not a bad idea. The interesting thing about Lord of the Heavenly Prison and Ladies with Labyrinth is that you can set with Lady, and let me think about with Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Can he do this as well? Lord of the Heavenly Prison. I believe what you set with Lord of the Heavenly Prison, you can, let's see, banish it during the end phase of this next turn. So either with Lord of the Heavenly Prison or with Lady of the Labyrinth, so you can set any trap, any normal trap from your deck with either of those monsters, and then if you have Kuklok in hands or you use Kuklok that turn, you can activate those on the same turn they're set, which is wild. Very, very cool. Labyrinth is amazing. I really, really, really like that deck. It's a little weak right now, but the deck really goes off once you get Lady of the Labyrinth in the mix. So this is a 45 card Dynamorphia deck. What I really like about this is that this deck is running like 19 hand traps. So we got 3, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17. Oh, excuse me, 20 hand traps. 20 hand traps, and they're siding a 3rd shifter. So we got the 3 Nib, 2 Shifter, great meta call, 3 Theresia, 1 Diplos. In this build, you really only need 1. 2 Lilith, one of my favorite cards. I love Lilith. And honestly, having 2 Lilith is better than having 3 Diplos. 100%. So now you have 5 normal summons, essentially. And Diplos doesn't actually get you to your trap cards, right? But Lilith does. So, if you're normal summon in Diplos, you're not getting to, you're not automatically, setting your domain or your frenzy. So 100% agree with this. 2 Lilith over 3 Diplos. 100%. Let's see. Plus, Labyrinth is the one trap deck that doesn't revolve around into devolve into pure stun. Absolutely. I love Dinomorphia, but my best performance with the deck just playing stun with Rex Term goes in rivalry ASF. 100%. Altergeist really does like playing interactive traps instead of floodgates, but it's a Mystic Mind deck now. Yep, 100%. The stream is making me more indecisive and unsure on what to play than I thought I already was before. Yeah, I am. I mean, I just got a Dinomorphia. Dual Daddy just sent me a Dinomorphia core because I might play a deck like this for Niagara. I don't know. I really, really like this build though, because it's just what it recognizes. You know, it's got the 3 prosperity and the duality. What it recognizes is that you just need to, you don't need to run a bunch of trap cards in Dinomorphia. You just really need to find your Frenzy, your Domain, and then the Brute and Sonic and Alerts can just, you know, they can just come in, you know. So in the extra deck, we're running 3 Rexsturm, 3 Kentragina, of course, standard. 1 Sylpbergia, that's probably fine. I usually see 2, 1's fine. 1 Dark, 1 Selene, 1 Access Code, 1 Omega, 1 Dugaris, 1 Lagia, 1 Dolka, and 1 Psychic and Punisher. This is also really good because I would actually like to see more of the level 3 Ghost Girl Tuner hand traps so you can make Psychic and Punisher easier. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Hi, RJ. This is a really cool Dinomorphia deck. Izuku. Hi, Izuku. Imagine me who was trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So many options. I know. I'm sorry. There's so many. And I'm just really enthusiastic about... about just all manner of decks. I've had people be like, I'm buying too many decks because you keep posting cool shit. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Locally, the Bridge of Salvation revealed in the magazines. We were really excited for Flu. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Bridge of Salvation is actually a really cool card because, you know, I mean, it's great for Crystal Beast, but, you know, Foolish Burial Goods is basically terraforming now. If you're running Crystal Beast, it's a bit more bricky, but more copies of field spells is really interesting. Yeah, I really like this list. Let's check the side deck. So side deck, of course, we got the Scythe, we got the Sanctums, 2 Crow, I think that's a good idea. Ferret Flames, this card's so funny in Dinomorphia, god I love it. If you haven't read this one, if the combined attack of all face-up monsters your opponent controls is higher than your life point, make your opponent shuffle monsters they control into the deck their choice so that the combined attack they control becomes less than or equal to your life points. Notice that it says make your opponent shuffle monsters. So this is something that acts on your opponent. It doesn't act on the opponent's monsters. So this card's hilarious. Love it. Dinomorphia's main weakness that most decks can... Yeah, Rexsturm is a very fair floodgate. There are a lot of outs to it. For sure. I was so close to finishing Math Mech and then I played Tier in a sealed tourney. Yeah. And I ain't even been to locals yet. Oh wait. Gold Eagle's a wind-winged beast, so you can put it back with unexplode. Oh! I didn't think about that, Ren. That's really sick. Yeah. Oh, that's rad. Huh. 2 crows. How do you use them? Then Called by the Grave better. Yeah. So yeah, Called by the Grave Izuku would be better in a lot of cases, but just because it's limited to 1. But Crow, yeah, I'd say it. I mean, it's just more things that can stop Tier, really. I think that let's talk about Shifter. I have been obsessed with thinking about what deck can best take advantage of Shifter. Because I think that the most important deck to beat at YCS Niagara is Danger Tier. 100%. And that's not like a hot take or anything. Specifically, he hasn't posted his actual deck list from it, but Hani Jawari's Danger Tier list is extremely scary. Because what he's doing in his deck is that he is sending Spell Canceller with Curious and reviving it with Dugaris. So that's turning off Mine, that's turning off Super Poly, that's turning off Sprite Starter, that's turning off Dark Ruler no more. So, you know, I don't know about, like, that seems like the scariest thing to beat. Let's see. Surprise Smashers, Tears, Bigfoot, no stuff. Mathmech can just Final Sigma and run over Rockstorm. Yep, sure can. Crow's better because Crow Burb. Yeah, Crow good Burb. Crow is my favorite hand trap. Any format that Crow's good and I'm just like, yes! Because I love DD Crow. I love the DD monsters in general, the old ones. And DDDs as well. I hate when you say shifter, I immediately think of shapeshifter fanfiction. Do I ask? Put it in the chat. What's shapeshifter fanfics? The deck that best takes advantage of Shifter is Flu since it actively helps to be better. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Shifter allows you to loop all your spells and traps with token. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I just don't want... I want to play a deck that plays Shifter that is not Flu. Because I fucking hate Flu. I hate Flu. I hate that deck. Because it's just like... It's just a... I brought this up before. It's just a collection of semi-bannable cards. We just speculate wildly. I just did a book called Snow Kisses for My Omega in my book club, and it's relevant. I will leave it at that. Snow Kisses for My Cyframe Lord Omega. Oh my god. Me too. Which DD you were meta again? Yeah. It was my first blind second Zodiac. Diamond Dude, not without Dryden, baby. Not without Dryden. What I've been messing with is a going second Sword Soul list. Going second Sword Soul fusion list, inspired by my friend Juan, who I played against with this with a build of a similar feel. So. Omegaverse. Oh, that's what that is. Can Exorcister run D-Shifter? Yeah. Hey, also, hey Mugiwara. Yeah, they can. I don't know how I feel about Exorcister. The deck feels kind of fragile. Doesn't feel great going second, except for when you have Shifter. Play Flea without the Berry statue because it's way more fun. Hell, you know what? You know what, Ren? I can respect Flew without the barrier statue. I like that. Sister can, but rather it didn't. Yeah, because it makes packs weird. Shifter DRNM makes Zeus baby. Yeah. Yeah, it makes packs weird, and yeah. Yeah, Exorcister, yeah, because you just like send down Latania and whatever, and yeah, and they also like lose to a lot of weird hand traps, like Ogre on an Exosister is like this means death. So yeah, so I just put Hani's list on here because Hani Jawari's list, whenever we see it, I think that's the most powerful deck in this format right now. Yeah, Curious for Spell Canceller, bring back with Dugaris, or just make Griffin. Yeah, it's scary. And that's why I'm so hellbent on finding the best deck to run Shifter. Which, what I've narrowed down in terms of decks that I like to play. So there's Flu, which I don't really like. There's Exosister, which I'm not the biggest fan of because I don't think it goes second very well. I think going second Sword Soul has some legs to it. I don't like the term legs. That feels wrong. It has some viability to it. I've also been messing around with Sprite Melfi, of course. Sprite Melfi can run Shifter, and it really isn't a big deal. You lose, like, you don't do the elf stuff, really, but you lose, like, one disruption from Sprite, which is the, the um, the effect of Joyous Melfies to revive from grave. And that's not really a big deal. Let's see. And the most powerful aura on this planet. True. Guru just kind of just removed the one good matchup X-Sister had in Tears since deck is full of super. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, the deck is just like super following me, please. Runic is so powerful, I'm afraid. Yeah, Runic's good. Fish can run Shifter, but at the moment the deck is incomplete. Yep. Graveyard. Punk Tundra. Yeah, true. Get a Runic Corp. I'm scared it's gonna skyrocket. Yeah, maybe. Thunder Dragon can sure. Yeah, it sure can. I don't know how I feel about Colossus. Anyway, so this is a Runic Sprite deck. I know on stream a little bit ago I mentioned about Runic Sprite being a thing. And I'm like, oh, so it is. This is Clifford Colbert's top 8 from Detroit WCQ. So we got 3 blue, 3 jet, 2 red, 1 carrot. Standard, you got your 3 frog, your 1 Ronin. Notice that people aren't really running dupe because super poly. Ash, so we got 2 Ash called by the grave, smashers, starter, and then we get into the runic stuff. So we are running 4, 8, 9, 10 runics, quick plays, and the 1 fountain, the prosperity, the Dark World No More, talents, and imperm. Do I recommend Sword Soul for getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh? I think Sword Soul isn't, it's been power crept a little bit, but Sword Soul, it's still a good deck, 100%. It's not the most like annoyingly big brain deck to play, which I think is good. I think it's still powerful. It has a lot of good going second tools. Yeah, I think Sword Soul wouldn't be a bad choice at all. Let's see, what do we got here? I'm taking a moment to get through the chat here. Let's see. How everywhere Sprite has become. Yeah, it's around. Not playing the statue takes the deck from being a silly and linear stun deck to a really cool resource control deck. Yeah, 100%. Let's see. Burn the mind, 100% Ash. Runic Sprite yesterday at locals. Yeah, how did that go, Dual Daddy? Runic Sprite, I mean, I've messed with it a bit. I thought it was pretty good. Hello. Sir Blackson, hey. Branded Despia might be a good intro. Yeah, especially with the reprints from the Megatons. I think Branded Despia would be pretty nice. I've been bored of Sword Soul since last year. Yeah, it's not the most exciting deck. I will definitely give you that. Switching between this and my Thursday Flight Sim stream. I totally feel that. Well, not that I'm really into flight sims, but I'm glad that you're taking the time to be here as well. I hope you're enjoying the flight sim. I see how much you love that. I think that's amazing. 2 wanted me taking the match. Anti-spell won me game 3. It happens. Anti-spell be a card. Reprints making price drops so hilarious. Always. Game 1 easily. Game 2 hit with mine and milled all my outs. Ooh. Let me see. The extra deck, yeah. This card is why this deck works, why Runic Sprite works. Hugin. This also gets you your fountain, which is amazing. I think this deck is very powerful. I wouldn't be surprised if it did well at Niagara. Will I be bringing it to Niagara? I don't know. I don't have the Runic cards yet. I don't know if I want to grab them before that. Yeah, I don't know. Opening is now at 4. Wow. Stream more detail. Yeah. How much should you be paying me to keep playing this game? Oh my god, it's true. Alright, so those are a bunch of the this that I went through. Let's take a look at so let's take a look at the Megaton stuff. Let's see. Actually, I can just go to my Twitter. And, oh, this is probably going to be difficult because it's going to be, like, all in the feed and everything. Alright. Let me pull up. We're going to talk about this card. We're gonna talk about it. So the Megatons, courtesy once again of Dual Daddy. So let me see if I can. I think I might need to go to like card cluster or something like that. So I can show the it on this screen just because my screen's a bit smaller. 2022 Megatons. Let's see if they've got them updated on here now. Okay, I think they've got everything here. Alright, so first we got some Armed Dragon stuff, which shout out to Sperato. If anybody knows the Armed Dragon King, is very happy about Prismatic Secret Rare at level 7. Very nice. Kit as a Prismatic Secret, love to see it. Love to see it. She was the only expensive Tri-Brigade card. So, Izuku, thank you so much for following. We got Wind Witch stuff, because why the fuck not? The Fabled, I love the Fabled archetype. Once again, I have said this many times. Fabled structure deck. Give it to me. I want it. I want that Fabled structure deck. Constellars, because why not? Metal Foes. Mahavilo. Sure. Mahavilo retrain. Unclassed Bear, that's a good reprint. That's gonna look real nice. Lilith Treat, sure. Miradora, I wish this king, I was reading Shay's comment. I wish this card was good. It's not. What the hell does this card even do? I have never read this card. Fairy Archer and Gnar. I think this is like a smaller version of the rank 660s. You can target a level 6 or higher plant monster. You know, this is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. You could do some interesting stuff with this. Like, I feel like there's some weird things where you could do with, like, Lone Fire in Sun Avalon. I don't know. Like, I don't know. There's probably some combos that I am not going to be able to parse out right now. Don't reprint my Metal Foes, not give me a line without Magician Souls, Konami. 100%. Shout out to my friend Torin, who I think on a near daily basis reminds me that Electromite will someday come back. And I always tell them that they are the biggest cope that I have ever met in my life. Because it ain't. If it does, I don't know what I'll do. I'm not making any promises because I don't trust Konami. Alright. I feel like this is a Synchro Extender. Yeah, that could be interesting. I'm pretty annoyed that a lot of Prismatics were secrets to begin with. Yeah, I completely agree, Ren. You know, cards like Kit being a Prismatic secret, great. But yeah, if it's already a secret, like they're doing with Diviner the Herald, don't reprint it as a secret. That doesn't make much sense to me. Thank God for a Diviner reprint. Agreed. Agreed. That card is way expensive. This card, Guitar Grinard Gritter. White Baking is hilarious. Sortless is whatever. Wind Witch, Fabled, no. Hyperiton, that's a decent reprint. I can't believe this card eventually became meta. Just took Rika Sun Avalon. So you can go into regionals with the Skull Servant deck. Imagine going to a YCS with a Skull Servant deck. You know, I'm gonna be white bacon up in there, for sure. Goddess, I kneel. I'm winning 10-0. Hell yeah, Izuku. I can run that shit. Yeah, Underworld Goddess, that's a great reprint. Excellent card. Love running it. Great for Labyrinth as well, because she's a fiend. Armed Dragon Flash, of course. Armed Dragon Blitz. Armed Dragon Lightning. Tri-Brigade Rendezvous, who cares? Wind Witch Chimes, I've never read it. Stairway to a Fabled Realm, that's the field spell. I don't remember what it does. Archfiend stuff. Pot of Prosperity, excellent reprint. Hugely needed. Hugely needed. I'm really going to look forward to picking these up, hopefully. Armed Dragon Thunderbolt. This is the, that's it, you're going to Brazil card. These don't matter. Zanwu gets a an upgrade, which is lovely. MR Materia Reactor. The funniest super poly target in the world. I love Cordius the Triphasic Diomon. Hilarious card. Takes a fusion, a synchro, and a link monster or something like that. Next sees a synchro link, I think. Dream Mirror meta is imminent with the Dream Mirror meta. Sure. Sure. Whatever. Warrock, why not? Due to the VW that nobody cares about. Diviner, great reprint. Let me see. Twin Saber, good for you, utopic players. Prismatic Secret of Roxrose, gonna look nice. Dunmari gets a super rare, that makes me happy. Vesiculo, Frost. More Plunder Patrol stuff. Yes, reprint more Plunder Patrol stuff. Especially if you give this a rarity bump. I don't remember what its rarity is. I love Plunder Patrol. I think that deck is fantastic. This is, let's see. Does it show the rarity? Not here, but necessary card to mate Ingunar. Yes, alright. Yes, you're correct, Shay. I mean, deck mommy's here. Judge of the Ice Barrier is kind of a mommy. Flora, oh, wait. Really, that there be a mommy. 100%. On 1 second, let me get this music going again. There we go. Let me get that chill Animal Crossing going. So shout out to Emily for hooking me up with this. Just what I wanted, just what I needed for the music. Head off for the night. It was great chatting with you too, Dude Laddie. Thank you so much for coming. You rock. We all love you in this community. Thank you so much for everything you do. Hello, event chat. Just finished a remote locals and finished second. Hell yeah, Jason. Hell yeah. What did you play? Hey, it's that we take the dubs, you know? Let's see. What do we got in the chat here? So it's going to buy these cards now video. Let's see. Isn't Blackbeard the only expensive plunder? I believe so. Yeah, I think at this point. It's a mandatory adventure engine. Yeah. Dark Honest, maybe Garbanzo. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the prismatic. I completely agree on that. The helmet just is supposed to even do. Yeah, I can't tell you either. Dark Honest wings are just the buy flag. True. It's always Pride Month when Dark Honest in the game. Mathmech Ignister. Yo, we were just talking about that. Congrats. I'm pretty sure it's the place of Small World yesterday. Oh man. F for the wallet. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is the reprint of it. Blackbeard. Small World is so, yeah. Small World is an amazing card. My second favorite spell card. Actually, it's probably my favorite spell card in the game. Anyway, let's see. Not a lot of this stuff. Dark Eye Nightmare is a really cool card, but it's not meta relevant. Scraptor, sure. Albion is a Prismatic Secret. That's gonna look nice. Ready Rose is a good one. Mu Beta Fafnir, absolutely. I really wish they reprinted Drytron Nova. Bear Brim, sure. Another Dark Infant reprint that's nice. Lena as an Ultra is going to be great. I Meet You as an Ultra. Thank you. Thank you. So now I think my entire Ignister deck is like hollow, I think, which is pretty sweet. I'm pretty hyped for that. Let's see. What else we got here? Book of Lunar Eclipse. Shout out to Monarch for that. Proofless. And then we got a bunch of the Despia stuff. Glad this is getting reprinted. Also, reprints on Stardust Synchron and Stardust Trail. Trail as an Ultra is going to look gorgeous. We got the Twink. We got the Sue ships. Lower Swallow got a super rare reprint, I believe. Yeah. Is that Starmine? It sure is Starmine. Hollow Agnes are so pretty. Yep. Yep. Buggy reprint. Yep. Buggy. You actually just misspelled adding here. Yep. There's also reprints other than Ecclesia. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing, honestly. Let's see. Okay, I need to mess with my music right quick, because it was not playing for me. Let's see. There we go. Sometimes this thing just has like a little glitch. Oh, let's see. Unciela Bolus. Olvain, that's a good one. Or, yeah, Olvain. Stellar Wind Wolfrayet. I really want this card to be good. It has a great effect, but it's just like, it's an awkward level, and it's a bit too reactive. Garm or Dragon Shell is a really cool grind card that's just way too slow. This card would have been amazing in like Unknown Infernity format or something. But right now it's not great. Perrin getting I think an ultra rare, good for Perrin. Illumination, love it. We got a bunch of the Despia stuff, Magic Keys, High Ritual Art, Ready Fusion's great, Synchro Overtake is great, Suship, absolutely. Magic Key unlocking, I think they put this as like a common or something. This should have gotten Prismatic Secret, 100%. What else? Beat Trooper. A lot of cards in there. Incredible Ecclesia, great reprint. Definitely makes the Sword Soul deck a bit easier to afford. Ice Jade, God, I love this deck's art. God, I wish it were good. Flunderies gets a bunch of reprints. Denier, more Suships. Lord of the Heavenly Prison, excellent reprint. Ooh, Meow's Click. I wonder if that's gonna get a rarity bump. I really like that card. It's a mine out. It's a very funny mine out at that. We got Masquerade. We got DP. Actually, I wonder. No. That wouldn't be a Small World Bridge. DPE, Ars Arctic, Magic Key, the Magistus thing. Trouble Sunny's a good one. Let's see. This is a Small World Amazing reprint as we talked about. Let's see. Any other Beat Trooper stuff? Beat Trooper. Senate Crosswipe. Just talked about that. Lightning Storm. Excellent reprint. Fantastic. Super needed. I don't even have a playset of this yet, so that was needed. Droplet. I think that's another great reprint. The more droplets, I mean, the more this stuff can just be affordable. 100%. Ogre, it has plenty of printings, but we can always use more. Ghost Reaper, that's a great one. Ash, hugely needed. Excellent reprint. Bell's a good one. Mourner, LOL. Or Dogwood, LOL. Mourner, slight LOL. Nibiru, just keep reprinting it. 100% fine. Higher rarity Dark Ruler, that isn't the original printing. All for it. Shifter, absolutely. Might consider playing. Yeah, I've run it a couple of times in Mathmech. It's pretty funny. Night Sword Serpent, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. I was thinking about getting the Ogdotic deck because it does some things. I actually really like that deck. Cross that's in here too, and Ash in the yeah, a lot of Ash, like a lot of Ash reprints, which is great. I hope it's not short printed again. That would be ridiculous. Also, hey London. Dragoon's a good one. Yeah, he comes up. Cross out. The alternate art, Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and Dark Magician. Love that. Ash confirms, yeah, absolutely Pog. Bridge of Salvation, awesome. And then these ones, Into the Rains. This is the new card I'm most excited for from this deck. And then we have the Soul Energy Max, the Obelisk card, the Revived Sky God, which is the Slifer card, the True Sun God, and the Breaking Ruin God. Let's see, what Wait a minute. This is so... Okay. You know, let's read these cards because I don't remember what this... Okay. If you control an Obelisk the Tormentor, contribute 2 face-up monsters, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict 4,000 damage. During the main or battle phase, you can banish the card from your graveyard, add 1 Obelisk from your deck to your graveyard to your hand, then you can normal summon an Obelisk. Cool. I like that. Ogdotic is so sick. Yep, 100%. Asher Ray dropped to 10. Wow, that's pretty sick. I wonder what they're going to do with the rest of the cards during the OCG Animation Chronicle. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know you're fiending for them G-Golems, so I'm not sure. So this card is, it's wild. So, the activation card or its effects cannot be negated, nor can its effects be negated. Special summon 1 Slifer from your graveyard, then each player draws until they have 6 cards in their hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, place 1 monster reborn from your deck or graveyard on top of your deck, then, if a Divine Beast monster is in your graveyard, draw 1 card. And this card, like, I feel like this card could have some things. It's... Is there a Taka? Yes, there is the Takahashi, Slifer, art. I can pull it up, actually. Takahashi Slifer. Yeah, here it is. It absolutely rules. Why is it on Amazon though? Here we go. That should be a bit better. Yeah, you can kind of check it out here. Yeah, it's very, very, very cool. Takahashi's art always on point, always rules. Asher Woo. Let's see. Tyr can easily use the Sky God card with Curious Griffin. Yeah, it can happen. So you play Sphere Mode, Foolish Barrel goes to card, and basically have a Reborn Searcher. Yep. What I have is the Dark Magician of the Spirit. I want the Jinzo. Yeah, the Jinzo one is rules. Like, he's doing like Wakanda Forever, which is hysterical. Yeah, super cool. Scared of the new Slifer Trap with Danger Tier because Curious. Yep. I'm worried about too, but you should be worried about tier 1 meta threat Labyrinth. Not actually, but so revive Sky God. Then we have the Breaking Ruin God. Special summon 1 Obelisk from your hand or graveyard, and if you do, it is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Cool. If you tribute 2 or more monsters you control at the same time to activate your card or effect, while you control Obelisk, you can banish the card from your graveyard. Banish all monsters in your opponent's graveyard. Wait. What? That's kind of... So you get to Ruddy Rose your opponent's graveyard? What? Okay. If you can tribute 2 or more monsters you control at the same time to activate your card or effect. Okay, I don't know how exactly you'd pull this off, but that effect is very interesting. Always makes you think of Abyss's Jinzo match she did. Fucking bless Abyss. I absolutely love her. If anybody doesn't know her, go check out at Nebula Naus on Twitter. She is incredible. Absolutely adore her. And then it's like KS Emperor Obelisk and Void of the Soul release. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. True Sun God. When this card is activated, add a Winged Dragon of Ra or 1 card that mentions it. Monsters except the Winged Dragon of Ra cannot attack, turn into a special summon. Once per turn, during your main phase, you can send this card from your field or 1 Winged Dragon of Ra Mortal Phoenix from your deck to your graveyard, and send Ra from your monster into the graveyard. Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so some really good stuff in the tins. A lot of like very necessary prints and stuff. So somebody on Twitter was like, can you show how you can like a build for this, or how you could do the Slifer combo in Labyrinth? So if y'all want to see, I think I'm going to show you y'all that right now. Give me 1 second. Let me do this here and pull up AutoPro here. So I didn't have a chance to set up the build beforehand, but it's quite easy to do. Chatterella, Danger, Punk, Slifer, Tears. Honestly, maybe. Alright, so this is Labyrinth post Stobble, but honestly, okay, all we need to do is do this shit. Brand of Fusion. I'm not gonna do like a random test stand, so I'm just gonna show you how this can be done. Let's see, so we're gonna do Branded Fusion. We're gonna need Brigand. Let's take on Entis. I'll fix this later. We're gonna need an Albaz. We're gonna need a... What do we need besides Albaz? Branded Fusion. Oh, of course, Slifer. Chisa Takahashi art. And of course they haven't added the new trap card. I'm guessing they're revived, unless they're very base. Okay, so just for example here, because we're not going to be able to like show it without the trap being in the game, but let me just show you what you can do with this. So, let's see. Let's just do this. Doesn't really matter what the fourth card is. Let's do Don't Shuffle Deck. Let's do 4. Close out of my Chrome. Alright. So you got these 4 cards in your hand basically. So you do Chandra Pitch. You set the Welcome Labyrinth. And then you do Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion effects. Summon Brigand. Send Slifer. Send Albaz. Summon the Brigand. Lady effects. Then you pass turn. Then during your opponent's turn, you do Welcome Labyrinths, Chain Lady effect. So it would be setting the trap, but we don't have it yet. So we just do the Imperm. Actually, you know what? For this combo, just so I can show you like a trap being activated, let's just do this. Boom. Welcome. Brandon Fusion. Is it being stuttery? You know, it might be that this is outputting at a higher resolution too. Let me see. Let me just do this and that'll fix it. So anyway, you just do Welcome Labyrinth. And then, like, let's just say you set Compulse. You summon out Ariana. Ariana effects. Grab the Kuklok. Kuklok effects. Send it, so now you can activate the trap that you set that turn. So this would be the Revived Sky God. And then you summon Slifer from your graveyard and you draw 6 cards. Congratulations. What a ridiculous deck. What a ridiculous card. I love it. Let me see. Nope, I think my computer's just freaking out just a little bit. Let me see. Let me close out of this. Let me pull this back up here. Still being a bit stuttery? Oh, you're all seeing my email. Hello. Let me see. So, one of the other topics that I want to talk about is the evolution. It keeps freezing on random frames. Less video, more montage. Got it. Hopefully this will clear it up a little bit. Let me see if I do this a little bit. The laptop might just be running a bit hot. So basically I was just going to talk a bit about how trap decks have changed, because I was thinking about this with Labyrinth, and just how these things are different. And this is not, you know, like a definitive list or anything like that. God, stop, Ash. Like it. I'll just put more. I just need to put more money on it. Yes, you got Backjack. Yes, I think I just got that in the mail too. Let me see. Let me see. Is this my Backjack? I think this might be Backjack in here. Let me check. Nope. Nope, just my email. Just my email in the stream. Let's see. Yep. 3 of them things. Some absolute backjacks. We're playing some Labyrinth. Yeah, it really can sometimes. Even when I was in Edo Pro, though, it was kind of draining the speed of it. It is better? Oh, that's good. But yeah. So I was thinking about, like, what exactly... Smooth as butter. We'd love to hear it. So I was thinking about, like, what trap decks do now and how these things have changed. So kind of thinking about it originally was, like, you know, decks originally... actually, these are the premium gold ones. The gold secret rares, which... I love this rarity. If people talk shit about the premium golds, Return of the Bling, secret rares, love this rarity. One of my favorites, 100%. So like, you just had decks that just played trap cards because trap cards were just good, you know? And then you had decks where it was like counter fairies that came out that was revolving around these powerful trap cards. And powerful counter trap, of course. And then I feel like and correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different opinion on this, but I feel like the first, like, when hat format started coming around, it was when decks kind of it was when traps started feeling slow, I guess. You know, in like Dragon Ruler and stuff, you'd have kind of like floodgates and stuff. But traps first started, I don't know, feeling kind of slow, I guess, at this point. And Trap Tricks was a very powerful archetype, of course. Shout out to the structure that's coming up. But you had decks like Trap Tricks and Burning Abyss that were mostly operating on these old ideas of what traps are. You know, they're powerful interactions and such, and they're a bit slow. And this was kind of the way of it before. Matt, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. And I think they kind of became a bit lost for a bit. And I think Paleozoic kind of changed that. I think this is where we first see, like, an entire archetype of modern trap ideas. Because the Paleozoic monsters, you know, they all have extra effects in the graveyard. They come back and you're able to, you know, overlay a couple for Toad, you know, later down the line. But you could make, the Paleozoic ones. I said 100? Yo! Thank you all so much for 100 follows. That's amazing. Oh, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Well, absolutely, yeah. Traps were absolutely still strong because I mean, like, Traptrix was, a amazing deck in that format. But it was like they needed it was like new supporters, the new kind of breath of life. And after that point, and after Hat format, and basically like after Necros format, when Burning Abyss, was playing like less, when Burning Abyss kind of wasn't, like trap cards in Burning Abyss were starting to feel kind of slow. Well, thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it. So Paleozoic kind of changed this because it was like your trap cards aren't just, they have decent effects, but they also have other properties to them. And this is kind of what trap cards I feel like needed to become, was having extra utility and kind of living in the grind game. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that feels amazing. Thank you. I believe so. Yeah, I think you're right about that, Jason. So then they kind of tossed out the window when you got to Subterror and Altergeist. In some ways, because they've revolved more around continuous traps, but they weren't monsters, They weren't necessarily trap monsters. I didn't. I thought about them, and then I thought better. Yosenju, though, yes, Yosenju. But like with Subterror, they have the continuous trap, they have the final battle and such. Baby's first 100 subs. But they kind of revolved around this grind game and stuff, which kind of changed the game a bit. You had like Lair of Darkness, which was like, to keep their resource game going, they had attributed your opponent's monsters, which helped with it. And then Outlich is Outlich really changed the game, and there's a reason why it's been meta relevant for 2 years at this point. Because like Conquistador and Vaquero are both they're both excellent trap cards in their own right, but they're also recursive, and they keep flowing into each other. You have Conquistador grab Sanguine grab Vaquero. They keep floating into each other, and makes it a really powerful resource engine and grind game. And I feel like that's where traps need to be at right now, is that trap cards need to win in a grind game because they can't really win in the speed game. They can't really keep up, and they take some time to get going, so they will be blown out going second, things like that. Yeah, Subterror and Geist are bonkers trap cards, 100%. Yeah, I have Amazement on here too. I think Amazement is, and Lich. I think Amazement is a very cool archetype. Sunny, thank you so much for the follow. I super appreciate it. Oh my god, Sunny from Top Cut. Oh my god, I didn't see it at first. Oh my gosh. Yo, big shout out to you, Sunny. I absolutely adore Top Cut. Thank you so much for jumping in. Sky Striker's is a green trap deck, 100%. Yeah, with Amazement though, I think this is why Amazement didn't work out very well. Is you had a bunch of trap cards. They weren't the most powerful or broken trap cards. You had a Book of Moon, an Effect Veiler. The newest one is like halfway to an Ichiroku's Ledger Book. It's not great. Or it's just a Dynamiscus without the discard, but you have to target, and it's there. It doesn't have enough of a recursive engine to it to really be viable. The deck is very enjoyable when it works, but it often doesn't work and it's not very consistent. The concept is hilarious though. Absolutely, we'll give it that. Yeah, 100%. I think it could have been if the amazement traps were more powerful, maybe. I think the biggest problem with the amazement traps is that they're all 1-for-1 interactions. Like if you're resolving a torrential tribute, you're resolving an Ice Dragon's Prison, you're resolving a Dogmatic Punishment, you used 1 card and you're getting rid of 2. Or torrential tribute, you might be getting rid of 5. And with amazement, so many of these interactions were just 1-for-1s, and a trap deck in the speed of this format, without something like Eldritch, where your Conquistador gets into your Sanguine, gets into your Vaquero, like you're just going to lose in a grind game or just be blown out before you can even do anything. So I really wish the deck was better, but I don't think it can really do much. Hero B could be slotted. Yeah, 100%. Skill drain heroes. 100%. Completely agree. Yeah, trigger traps, summon Arlecchino and pray. Yeah, shout out to Arlecchino. We love him. Yeah, Zeke on a trap. That's a better way to put it. Absolutely. Track of alt. Mutants is kind of sick. I will give it that. Mutants is kind of sick. Like I said, this is not definitive or anything like that. Traps teaching players about what real trading is. 100%, Matt. 100%. And this is where we have like Dynamorphia and Labyrinth. So Dynamorphia, basically by making fully in archetype Floodgate, this is how it succeeds. And it doesn't succeed wildly necessarily, but it's had tops, like we went over, it topped 32 video. But like it's a deck that can kind of go second. It plays enough counter traps to be able to do this, and it doesn't necessarily, as we also saw, it doesn't need to run a full suite of traps. It can just focus on the Dynamorphia traps and just kind of call it a day, which is a really interesting direction. And it'll be interesting to see where exactly Konami goes with trap decks moving forward, because it seems like we have these sort of two camps where it's trying to make trap decks as fast as possible with like Dynamorphia, or like the making the resource game as strong as possible with something like Eldritch. And I think Labyrinth is kind of the culmination of these two ideas, because you have cards like, well, when it comes out, Lady of the Labyrinth, which is setting cards for you every turn. You have Lovely Labyrinth, which is recurring cards from the graveyard. You have Ku Klok, which is allowing you to use traps the turn that they're set. You have your Labyrinth, Chandra, and Stovey coming back to your hand to be able to like set things again and give you more of that advantage. So it's a very interesting place that it's resting in right now, in trying to basically make traps as viable as possible, and also the fact that you can play on your opponent's turn 0 with a trap deck because of Stovey and Chandra being able to discard Backjack, being able to set a Torrential, set an Ice Dragon's Prison, set whatever it might, whatever normal trap it might be, a Welcome Labyrinth maybe. So it's very interesting, and I'm interested to see where exactly it goes. Dynamorphic kind of has the issue that Rexstorm is so much stronger than the rest of the entire archetype. Yeah, of course. I mean, in 100% it's just Rexstorm Turbo. if it wasn't a dark monster and if Garura didn't exist, I feel like that it would be a lot more viable. But yeah, Unchained, yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah, Unchained is a very very sick deck. I played it. Actually, Unchained was the second deck, the second deck I ever brought to a locals. My first was no, was it second? Yeah, second. The first deck I ever brought was Lunalight, and the second one I brought was Unchained and Unchained Live Evil Twin. Cool deck. Has some really interesting interactions. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know what was going on in that. I was not sure what I was doing when I was going to tournaments and stuff like that at that point. This was last year. One point I went to a tournament and my opponent was very salty that I just got lucky and drew Feather Duster. I didn't know Feather Duster was limited to 1, so I side decked 3 of them. I didn't, that was my only win of the entire tournament, so like, it didn't really matter that much, and it wasn't like an OTS or something like that. It wasn't like an officially sanctioned thing. I still felt bad though. It was just like 3 Duster, I guess. They weren't doing, deck check stuff because it wasn't an official thing. Constant resource loop and a way to slowly out resource your opponent are mandatory. 100% Sunny. At the point I'm kind of considered dropping the whole Dynamorph thing and just summon Teresia. Yeah, honestly, summon Teresia off a baby. 100%. Yeah. I know that somebody was doing that in the Dino FTK with like Bishbalkin. So they could have an extra card to pop with Scraptor. So Gel Trap card 321. Eva should be a Yu-Gi-Oh professor. Well, I'm not sure if you know this, Izuku, but I am actually a special ed teacher. So I'm not that far. I'm working on my master's right now. Ciao, London. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, if you're a new player, there's going to be stuff that you mess up on, like having 3 Duster. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm also a teacher. So, yeah, I kind of make lesson plans and stuff like that a lot. Not just in school, but in my own life. So some people might have seen, I'm actually going to be on Farfa's subathon on Saturday. Saturday at 10 a.m. CST, which is super cool. It's amazing. I'm really excited about it. He reached out to me and was just like, do you want to be on my subathon? And I was like, sure. And he was like, what would you want to do? I was like, I don't know. And he said, I don't want to like presume something about your experience, but like, would you feel comfortable coming on and talking about like the queer community and talking about like, being a trans woman in like Yu-Gi-Oh spaces? And I was like, yeah, honestly, I'm always down to talk about that. Whether it's in my professional life and personal life in Yu-Gi-Oh. Widening the scope of who is in this community and who we see, who we interact with. It's really important to me, and so I really appreciate him for offering that space. And yeah, I'm excited to do that. But when it's complete tangent, but I was talking to him about it today, and I was like, is there like questions that you want me to prepare, or is there questions that you want me to prepare for this, or like a like should I draft some things, like a general outline of what we're going to talk about? And he's like, we could just like I was just gonna plan to be casual about it. I'm like, great, because I've been lesson planning for like 2 weeks straight and I'm fucking sick of it. Not actually, I'll get back to it, but I just don't want that to seep too much in my personal life or to things outside of teaching. Yeah. How's so, Ash? Oh, in terms of like widening the scope of people and like having more people in flight sim. I imagine so. Yeah. Like there are so many of these hobbies and such and communities that have been dominated that have been dominated by, mostly like, obviously cis, cis white men or just cis straight men and stuff like that. And you know, I I just want to show um that women and queer folks are an organic part of this game, that we're important, and that we are here to stay. We'll win events. We do all sorts of things in this community. Um, you know, um, I'm gonna be hanging with Elise Davis tomorrow do a to do kind of a coaching session, and for her to tell me about, for her to set me straight when I'm fixating on unlikely interactions too much. And you know, she is someone I really highly respect in this community, and I absolutely adore. Seeing her topping events for, I got into this game recently, but going back and seeing her topping events is like 2018 such an inspiration. And I hope that we can continue that. I can imagine, yeah. I can imagine aviation's a sausage fest too. Yeah. Yes, chef to my mother-in-law. But yeah, so just finding the scope. So that's kind of like just anyway. Diversions aside. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. I really love this game, and I really want to get more people into it and have more of us playing, and more people who are going to be good to others. There are some toxic parts of this community. I won't say everything, but there are people in this community, and there are things that happen in this community that I'm not thrilled with. And having more people from more backgrounds with more experiences, sharing those experiences, and living that out is really important. Can you throw cards? 100%. Can you throw cards? Oh, thank you. That's really sweet of you. I try my best. I try my best to be open and honest about things to the best of my ability. So that's all that's all we can really do as people in this community. I care a lot about y'all. Truly. Yugioh has been really impactful in my life. From when I was a kid to, I the adventure card. I won't get into it all here. Maybe another day we'll do more of story time down memory lane. But yeah, anyway, so that's Trap Decks. Thanks y'all for sticking with that for a second. I just finished acquiring missing cards, Barebones, Valence, and Labyrinth Core. Now to acquire the other cards. Yeah, oh my gosh, Valence is cool. We talked about it a bit on this channel. I really like the concept of it and everything. Hell of a devil to play. This is a devil to play, but it's a cool deck. I like it quite a bit. So that is most of what I wanted to talk about. I mentioned something about Tier 0 versus Tier 0 in the OCG versus Tier 0 in the TCG. So we were talking about like Sprite. being tier 0 in the OCG. Um, and a lot of that I think can just be attributed to like a lot of it can be attributed to Max C and Union Carrier. To like keep it very simple, Max C is a level 2. There you go. And Union Carrier being able, like, even now with Toad being banned in the OCG, Sprite is still keeping up, because it can do the Buster Lock with Union Carrier very, very easily. And also another thing is that it can do the Buster Lock under D-Shifter, which is, you know, that's pretty intense for a deck. And that's really why it's keeping up. Sprite Sprint is a great card too, but you know, Sprite is just consistent, and having access to Max C like that is very powerful. When the Ishizu cards come out, will Tier Elements... Yeah, absolutely. Sprite also plays very well in a Max C. When the Ishizu cards come out for Tier Elements, will it be as strong as it is in the TCG? So if we look at Road of the King, which if y'all haven't used this, Road of the King is amazing, but got it heading early. Thank you very much. Night. To anyone who doesn't know, the person who said good night, that is my partner Sarah. So she was doing her work and, you know, jumped into the stream to listen and support. It was really sweet of her. So, but yeah. Anyway, cute things aside, so. Oh god, yeah. Sprint plus Angler. Ridiculous combo. I've even been doing that with Curious in the deck, which is also hilarious. So we see our tier at 41%, Sprite, Bisted, Flandres, Exosister, and others. Which also, I talked about this, there's... Yo! There we go. Melfi. Anyway. So, this deck... So basically, what's different about this deck in the OCG and the TCG? Basically, the Max Cs, and that's about it. You know, everything else is the same things that we can run here. Hi, I stand myself and my partner too. Oh my gosh. So, looking at this stuff will probably all be legal still. This stuff, you know, you got the 2 called by the grave, which is different, of course, but other than that, this stuff is all going to be legal. And this deck is also not going to have to deal with Maxi, which is also something. The thing is, the Ishizu cards are just so ridiculously strong. I absolutely think that this deck will be tier 1 here. 100%. There's very little doubt in my mind. Which is also just going to make Dimension Shifter even more important moving forward. The interaction of being able to send this with orange light, send one of these with orange light, ridiculous. Where's Waldo? But it's finding Max C. Yeah. So we see in the Sprite deck, so they are side decking Dimension Shifter, they are running Union Carrier, and they do have the Buster Lock. So that's really how they're getting by in this. If they have Shifter, they can still make Buster Lock under that. And Buster Lock, Shifter, good luck. Good luck. So I think that the biggest thing is that there's a lot of things that go into kind of what makes the OCG and TCG different. You know, you have Max C, you have Union Carrier, you have Black Dragon, you know, you have did they still have Vanities even? I don't even know. Do you think Max C will come back? Got a I hope not. It's Maxi is not Maxi is so unnecessary. Like, okay, I've talked about this so many times, but it needs to be said. It needs to be said so many times. When people say Maxi solves combo, no, it doesn't. Because combo decks play Maxi. When combo decks are playing Maxi, and they go first, and they go full board, and then they drop a Maxi on the person who's trying to break their board, it sucks. If Maxi had a stipulation that it could only be used if you are going second on your, and it can only be used on your opponent's turn 1, I think it could come back. The problem comes when you have a combo deck that is able to fully execute their combo and then is able to drop a Maxi on whoever's going second. And this is something that happens. This isn't like I'm making up this scenario. No. This happens. This is something that happens. And I really don't think that it is I don't think that it's healthy for the game to have that sort of interaction happening. Yeah, 100%. Very few downsides, if any. You know, Shifter messes with the deck, Dweller messes with the deck. But, you know, going second, you have Max, at least in the OCG, you have Maxi, you have 3 Havness, you have the 3 Herald of Orange Light, and you have all of these guys. You have the Kelbeck, which can, you know, bounce a monster. This deck can go second extremely well. It goes first really well. The boards it sets up are not disastrous, but what it puts in the graveyard is absolutely scary. When you're basically playing a graveyard deck against this is terrifying, and playing a mirror match, I don't even want to think about it. It's like a plan B, 100%. Yeah, so yeah, 100% you get the resource card that completely warps the entire game. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, completely agreed on Dragoon. It's part of the reason why Dragoon isn't banned here. Like, Dragoon without Maxi is not that big of a deal. You know, how many Zeks are topping with Dragoon right now? Not a whole lot. But yeah, just keeping these sorts of cards out of here. Yeah, I hope Maxi never comes back. I think it has an effect that will just always be relevant. No. Never happening. Anyway. So guys, I think with that, we've talked about quite a bit on this stream here. And I think we are going to call it for the night. Thank you all so much for being on here. These streams have been giving me so much joy and so much just good feelings and such. Even, you know, I already had kind of, a long day at work and such like that and everything like that. And even then it was still just loving to be on here and energizing. So will mine be banned? Please, will mine be banned? I am fucking sick of having to deck build around that card. I am sick of it. Please ban mine tomorrow. Thanks, no thanks. So yeah, so thank you all so much for coming by. So next stream, I am going to try to stream Tuesday night because I'm going to be flying out to Toronto on Wednesday, to go and visit my loved ones out in Toronto, and then to go to the YCS in Niagara. So if you're coming to Niagara, please hit me up and let's meet up. Let's take a cute picture together, something like that. And if you're around at 10 a.m. Central, please hit up Farfa's stream, or if you're around at 9 a.m. Also, Shiggy's going to be on before me, so please check them out too. And with that, y'all, I hope you have a wonderful night. Always feel free to hit me up over Twitter or anything. And take the best of care. Big love. See y'all later.